This is Jim Todd with Song Surgeon, and I am excited to show you today a quick snapshot of Video Surgeon for Macs. Many of you have been patient for a long time, up to a couple of years here, and we've struggled trying to get this thing together. We finally have it almost done. We're through beta testing. We're just making a couple of last final adjustments, and this should be available to you before January is over. I would say within the next couple of weeks you'll be getting an announcement. So I just wanted to give you a quick sort of sneak peek to show you what it's going to look like, and if you're familiar at all with the PC version, the functionalities are virtually identical. So let me just walk through this with you real quickly. Essentially, like the PC version, and I'm going to be comparing to that, we have the capability of doing pitch change, tempo change, vocal reduction, which means that we try to dampen the vocals. We don't remove it completely. And there'll be more about that later. We have a waveform file here that appears in a loop editor, and we have the ability to zoom in on this waveform file, and then lastly we have an equalizer section down here. So basically from top to bottom we have just this sort of summary pane at the top where you can get a quick snapshot of what's being played and the current position of the playing, as well as the current position of any loop points that might be set. You've got your typical start button, stop button, and of course when you press the start button like this, it goes to a pause button, so you can pause it. So this is what the overall interface will look like. Up at the top, of course, we've got the typical drop-down type of menu that appears on any Mac software program. So whatever you can do here through the user interface, you can also do here through these drop-down menus. And then the only other thing, I guess, in terms of a quick snapshot that I just wanted to do briefly is to show you just a couple of examples of how this works. And I have a song queued up that's called Hold On Loosely by 38 Special. I'm going to start it playing here, and then I'm going to grab this tempo slider, and we're going to slow it down to around 50% so you can hear it play. So there you go. It's playing at the normal speed. Now we're going to slow it down to 50%. So there's the ability to change the tempo, and again, the tempo change can be anywhere from 5% of the original up to 400% of the original, and as you get to these extremes you're going to hear an increasing amount of a distortion, and I'm not sure there's a need to go to either extreme, but 50% is a good place to start on a lot of these songs if you want to slow it down, and anything in between. And on some songs you can certainly go lower than 50%. And still have something that's usable for you. The other thing that I wanted to briefly show you is how you set loop points, and that's down here in this loop editor. Essentially, to set a beginning loop point, you're going to left click, and that's going to insert a green line, and it's going to show you the position of that green line. And then to set the ending loop point, you simply right click, and that sets a red line, and again it gives you the time of that time position of that ending loop point. The other thing that you can do, and will be doing, I'm sure, to help you set these loop points much more exactly, is that you can zoom, and we've got a slider bar down here that allows you to zoom. So as you drag these two ends together, you're more able, it allows you to zoom in closer and closer, and then you can actually click on and grab this thing and drag it, and that will reposition the location of the waveform file in the loop editor so you can have on your screen what it is that you're interested in. So that's how that works real briefly, and of course once you have a loop set up, it will loop continuously between these two loop points. Got the ability to reset the loops back to 0. and some other neat things. The other thing that you may not understand, and it's something that I know a lot of you are interested in, and that is that once you've changed the tempo or the pitch or set loop points, and then you save this file with a different name. This is called loosely. Let's call it loosely 50%. So if you change this file and save it where you've reduced the where you've reduced the tempo to 50%, once you've saved it and you open it back up, it will then play at 50%. So your default or your normal speed for this file becomes 50%. And the reason that that is important is because that means you no longer have to use it or open it in SongSurgeon to accomplish the slowdown. Essentially, you can move this over to your iPod or any other portable music device or burn it to a CD, and it will normally play then at 50%. Similarly, if you make changes in pitch, it will also include those changes in pitch. So that's just a brief overview of the SongSurgeon for Mac, which is going to be out here within a couple of weeks, and I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek. I hope you like what you see, and we'll be back in touch soon. Thanks very much.